The reason my voice may or may not sound like death is that I went to Reading Festival and got drunk and saw Fall Out Boy, and this happened. Unfortunately, it's basically time to go back to uni. Where's my summer gone? So I am celebrating with a starting university Q&A because I've got a year's worth of experience, so I can hand all my knowledge onto you. If you're new here, I'm about to go into my second year of maths at Southampton, and I've got questions from all over the internet. They're on my laptop here. I've split them up into different topics, so if you want to jump to a certain section, then the times are in the description. So let's start at the beginning and actually getting a place at uni. Did you find it difficult to make a decision on what you wanted to do at university? Personally, no, because I've always been good at maths and only maths, so it was kind of a no-brainer. Most people, I think, choose a combination of something that they like and something they're good at. If you can find something that's both, then you've hit the sweet spot, go with that. How do you get through your final year of A-levels? All I want is to get to uni. I can't really help you with that. Like, it's tough, but it's not as tough as it seems. You just gotta keep going, you'll get in, it'll be fine. Wow, this is a long question, okay. Would you advise actually going to uni? I'm currently 22 and I've put off going to uni as I'm seriously anxious and introverted, but I really want to prove myself I can do it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on if it's worth it. If you know what you want to go into and it doesn't need a degree, then I would just say don't go to uni. Like, why waste your money and your time on something you don't need? If you want to go for the social life, then again, there are other ways of doing that without having to spend £9,000 a year. If there's a subject that you really want to study and that you're really passionate about, then go for it. Although I will say that teaching standards at university are nowhere near as high as I thought they'd be. Generally, if you're going to get something out of it, whether it be personal growth or like a really good job, just do it. Moving on to questions about moving away from home. How do you deal with lots of change at once when moving to uni? I don't know. I struggled with this a lot. Like, all the things individually were fine, but combined together, I was just so in shock. If you can ease yourself into it, then I would suggest you do so. Things like visiting the city beforehand and meeting your course mates and your flatmates on Facebook, so not everything at once is really new and scary. Other than that, just try and view it as an exciting change rather than a daunting one. It's a new part of your life, it's like a new adventure, and you get to decorate your own room. How cool is that? Do you advise moving away for uni or staying close to home? It definitely depends on the person. For me, I went with the sort of middle ground. I'm far enough away that I have independence and my family don't pester me, but if I want to go home, then it's only 2 hours on the train. I'm really glad that I did stay relatively close to home because, if you don't know, my partner got cancer in my first year. Wonderful. I had to travel home a lot, and that just made it a little bit easier that it wasn't too far. If you've always struggled with change and meeting new people, how would you say is the best way to go about moving to university? You can always study from home and commute into wherever you're going. That is an option if moving out is too much for you. Maybe in your second year you can move out and get a house with some friends you've made on your course, and that's like a slower way to sort of progress yourself into it. This is me struggling with change and meeting new people, but I'm fine, I survived my first year, so you can do it as well. Like, maybe you could just throw yourself in, that's what I did. What are your best tips for living on your own for the first time and how to handle or enjoy it? I'm quite an independent person. I like spending time alone. I've always liked spending time alone. When I did live at home, I was doing most stuff for myself anyway. I went off, got the bus and did my own thing, didn't rely on my parents, so that was a good way of gaining independence. Therefore, I'd say I was a lot more prepared when they were suddenly taken away from me. Definitely learn how to cook a few meals, how to use a washing machine, and how to enjoy your own company. Not that you're going to be lonely, but it's helpful. I feel overly attached to my home and my surroundings. Do you have any advice for dealing with feeling homesick? This sort of relates to the last question, but try and push your boundaries before you go so that it's not a complete shock when you get there. If you're like really stuck to your little bubble of your house, go explore like a nearby town or something like that. Just get out there and get used to exploring and being in new situations. For some people this may help, for some people it will probably make it worse. I don't know. Decorating your room with things that remind you of home, photos of your family, and if you are having a really bad time, you can just go home for the weekend and visit them. That is always an option. How easy is it to budget? I'm good at numbers because I do a maths degree, so for me, it's great. I am planning on doing a whole video on this because I feel like I am like the bee's knees of budgeting. For now, I will just say, look at how much money you have and what you need to spend it on, aka rent, bills, anything else. I'd say do it termly, then you can divide it into the weeks of the term, then you've got your weekly budget and you can use that on your food. Anything else, you can spend it on yourself. The next section is living in halls, which was the most popular section because you guys just seem to want to know about living in halls, and I don't blame you because they're really scary. Correction, they're not scary. Just the concept of them is scary. Do you have any tips or tricks for moving into halls? Any wise words on living with strangers would be much appreciated. Yes, I do. I have loads of tips. Get there early on move-in day and make friends with everyone before anyone else does. Then you're like the alpha. No one knows each other and they all just want to make friends. So just be friendly and open. Offer them a cup of tea when they first get there. Maybe like bring some cake for bribery. I don't know, just be friendly. Moving into halls is really exciting. I kind of wish I was doing it again just because like you meet so many people that you wouldn't normally talk to. It's great fun, so just respect each other, respect each other's stuff, and you're not going to be strangers for much longer because you're going to be living together. Woo. I'm kind of scared that I won't get on with my flatmates in halls. Any advice for if I don't? Just do everything on your own. That's absolutely cool. That's what I did last year. It was fine. You can make friends in loads of other places other than your halls, but if it's actually a real problem and they're being horrible to you, then you can definitely request to move and that'll be fine and they'll sort it out for you. Do you have to have a flatmate? If you're living in halls, university halls, generally you each get a bedroom and then you share a kitchen and sometimes a bathroom. If there's not enough space in halls, then sometimes, with your consent and only for the first few weeks, you share a room, but then once they've found a new room for the other person, then you get a room each and it's fine. If you want to live in university accommodation but you don't want to share anything with anyone, you can also get studio flats normally. They are a lot of money, like 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 a year, but if you've got the money, then why not? What are some absolute essentials you'd say to take to university? Things you found yourself missing and things you couldn't have done without. This time last year, I was asking the exact same question and looking all over YouTube for the correct answer, but I don't think there really is anything that you absolutely need that no one else thinks of. One thing I am really glad I did take though was my shower caddy, which is like a big bucket with holes in the bottom that I keep all my shampoo and stuff in, because then I can just grab it from my sink in my room. It's just the best invention ever and it means you don't have to leave your stuff in the shower and risk people stealing it. Tips for decorating a dorm room. Don't take too much crap, just don't do it. They're so small, you're not going to have enough space to make it look nice if you take loads of junk. Number 2, storage. Hide all your ugly stuff. Battery operated fairy lights, IKEA, like £6 maybe? These ones here actually, they have lasted me a whole year. I have them on all the time. I haven't run out yet on the same batteries. Amazing. Origami star bunting, tutorial coming soon. Actual bunting, tutorial coming soon. Plants, little cactuses, succulents, all these cute little things that Tumblr loves. Just go wild. Do you have any cooking tips? Yes. Cook in bulk. Normally I cook for like 4, 5, 6 people. Then I freeze each portion in a little Chinese takeaway box. Put it in the freezer and I don't have to cook for like the rest of the week. Okay, moving on to the hell that is Freshers Week. A uni Freshers event's worth the money. I'm broke but scared I'll be missing out if I don't fork out money for bar crawls. I suppose going out is a good way to get to know your flatmates once you already know each other a little bit and then you can just laugh at each other being drunk. I only went out twice during Freshers Week, but you don't really make friends when you're in a club. Like, you just dance and you can't talk because there's music. I think our Freshers pass for all the events was about £80. and that's so much money. Most people didn't get it, so the people who did get it didn't use them because they didn't have anyone to go with. So I would recommend not getting like the access all areas pass and just paying as you go, because it's such a waste of money otherwise. Do you have any tips for people who aren't into partying during Freshers Week? This is me. There are so many events put on by the uni which don't involve drinking, which is great. We had like a tea, cake and video games night, so you can just go to different things and meet people with similar interests. If you do drink but you just don't like going out like me, then go to the pre-drinks and have fun and meet your new flatmates, but just, you don't have to go out. There's no pressure there. That's cool. If you're worried about people thinking you're weird for not going out, first of all, fuck them. Second, Freshers Week is only 1 week. I had to tell myself that a lot during Freshers Week because it's just so intense and everyone's going out all the time and you feel like you're left out and you're doing something wrong and that you're weird. After the first week, things will calm down a bit and people won't go out every night and it will just get easier. How and where is the best place to meet people and make friends? Is it okay to sit next to a random person and start chatting at your first lecture? Definitely. That is the best way to make friends. Look for someone who looks like they're sitting alone but seems friendly, then just go up to them and ask if anyone's sitting there. Sit next to them and just introduce yourself. It's great. That's the best way to make friends. The other good way to make friends is going to societies of things you're interested in. I go to the Feminist Society, you might want to join the hockey team, whatever. But you're going to have common interests with whoever's there, so that's great. Okay, on to studying. What are your best tips for remembering information at uni and giving you the motivation to study or work? It's the same as A-level really. Like, I just did what I did at A-level, but on a more extreme level. Motivating myself was a lot harder because there's a lot less structure to your day. I normally reward myself with food and Netflix, and that works for me. Knowing that you've actually done something productive is great, but food and Netflix. How do you cope with feeling like your course is too hard and you just can't do it? You can do it. That's why you're on the course. That's why they let you on the course. The odds are that everyone else on your course is struggling as well. Just, you're all doing it internally because you think you're the only one. So open up, help each other out, teach each other what you know. But at the end of the day, it is university and you're going to struggle because it's hard. It's supposed to be hard. So there's nothing that you're doing wrong. What's the male to female ratio on your course and what are your thoughts on that? Good question. I'd say it's about 60 to 40, which is really great for a STEM subject, but of all the STEM subjects, maths is the one that has the most women, so that's probably why. It's so refreshing and lovely to have so many girls in a maths course, and you know, I've made so many nice maths girl friends, so shout out to them. You're great. Also, there are normally like bursaries available for women who study STEM subjects, so look into that. You can get some money just for being a woman. Social life questions, not my strong point, but we'll go with it anyway. How often do you find yourself going out drinking with uni friends, if ever? Maybe like once every 2 weeks. I'd say the average is probably once or twice a week for most people, but I'm definitely more of casual drinks kind of person than a going out drink sort of person, so if you want to invite me to spoons, I am there. I am there. What's your go-to cheap drink on a night out? None, because I pre-drink to hell and back so that I don't have to buy anything while I'm out. But if I do feel like I need a bit of a boost, then I just go with whatever there is a deal on. Like, I don't care. I feel like adults push this idea of university as the best years of your life. Would you say that your experience so far lives up to this expectation? No. Don't get me wrong, the independence is great, the course is academically challenging, but it eats into your life so much because it's so difficult. Maybe it's just my course, it's so demanding, it takes such a toll on my mental strength. I often just don't have the energy to do all the fun side of student life. It felt so unfair seeing all my flatmates being able to go out and I was just there writing down numbers in my room. No, definitely not the best years of my life. Probably the worst year of my life so far. Hopefully this year will be a lot better. I'm a lot more prepared, a lot better mentally, and there is no cancer in my life. Fingers crossed. Okay, the next 2 questions are about Southampton specifically. Why did you choose to go to Southampton? Well, all the unis I looked at had basically the same maths course, so none of them really stood out to me. In the end, I chose Southampton for 3 really silly little reasons which just made me feel more comfortable there. Number 1, they have a cat in the student union. Number 2, if you live in halls, then you get given a free bus pass to travel all around Southampton, which is great, especially for me because I have really bad travel anxiety, so that just calmed me down a bit. And number 3, if my grades exceeded the offer they gave me, they would give me £1,000. What are the best and worst things about being at uni in Southampton? The best thing is the independence and the fact that it's a city. I'm from a small commuter town. It's very boring, nothing ever happens. I just feel very detached from normal teenage life and the actual civilization because I have to travel everywhere if I want to do anything. So Southampton is great. It's a small city, so everything's really close, but it's still a city and it has stuff in it. The worst thing would have to be the gigs. Literally no one I want to see goes to Southampton. I'm so used to being next to London and just going to a gig when I want to go to a gig. But no one comes near Southampton. Okay, I have a couple of questions on mental illness. How has university impacted upon your mental health? And did your mental health ever jeopardise your grades or ability to learn? Yes. Every single day it ruins my ability to learn. Concentration sucks. Memory sucks. It's horrible. In terms of university impacting on my mental health, it's definitely made it worse. Like, I wish I could say it hadn't, but it definitely has. Can you give any advice on studying with a mental illness? Yes. Take all the support you can get. I'm going to list some support that's probably available to you. First of all, disabled students allowance. Apply because you get free stuff. You have to put up with all this horrible mental illness stuff, so you may as well get something out of it. A lot of the stuff they do give you is really helpful. I've been given a mentor, which I see once a week. They pay for it all. And we just talk about organisation, study skills, anything that I need help with. Also, David Cameron himself paid £200 towards this laptop, so thanks, Tories. Register with a disability service at your uni. They can be kind of slow and kind of shitty at everything that they do, but they can give you extra time in your exams and talk to your lecturers for you if you're behind on work because of your illness. All universities have counselling services and most also have like a student-run helpline, hotline thing, so use them all, make the most out of them, and also NHS, just use it while you still can. In terms of actually studying with a mental illness, it's so hard. I can't really give you much advice. Just go easy on yourself, take things slowly. If you need to stop because you're not feeling great, then just stop. Just be gentle, kind to yourself. That's all I can really say there. Did you find the necessary support at uni for your mental illnesses? Before I went to uni, I made the mistake of not applying for any help I could get because I thought I'd be fine. I was in a healthy place at the time, but once I actually got to uni, I was just not okay. I've just talked about all the support that there is. Actually accessing it is kind of difficult if you're not already registered with enabling services or disability services, whatever it's called at your uni. So get that done first, that's your priority. Then disabled student allowance, and then those 2 things will allow you to get to everything else. Also, I have a personal tutor and then a senior tutor, and they've both been really good at emailing me and checking that the department as a whole is doing everything they can to accommodate me and my needs, which is wonderful. Final section is relationships, because you know me, the relationship guru. Okay, so what advice would you give to a girl going to uni with a boyfriend? A lot of people say it's a mistake. Honestly, if I wasn't in a relationship when I went to uni, I would say don't do it. Break up, go your separate ways, and have a fresh start. But I was in a relationship at the time. I did go to uni with my partner. It didn't work out so well, did it? Because they moved home to have some chemo, which was wonderful, love it. I can laugh about this now, but like literally the last year of my life, it's been absolute hell. Anyway, I wouldn't say it's a mistake as long as you go about it the right way. Maybe for the first week or two, stay apart and, you know, get settled in on your own, make friends on your own, so you're not reliant on the other person. Then after that, it's great, and you've got your new friends and your partner, and maybe you can even merge your two friendship groups together and have like a mega friendship group. That'd be cool. The final question, any advice for long distance relationships during uni? I guess it's the same as long distance relationships in general. Communication, a lot of it. You both have to want it because it's a lot of effort, so make sure you're both on the same page before you go off your separate ways to different unis. Then you can FaceTime and visit each other at weekends to your heart's content, but I think it's important that you both have your own lives outside of the relationship and that you're both enjoying your new life at uni. I think you've both got to be prepared for change because it's such a drastic change in both of your lives and you're not going to be together for it. So like that's double change basically. But it definitely can work from my personal experience and from experiences of friends. You always hear about couples breaking up because of uni, but I think I know way more couples that have stayed together through uni than have broken up. In fact, I can't think of any that have broken up. Okay, that is all the questions. Thank you all so much for asking them because I was actually really nervous about this video in case no one asked me questions because it was my first Q&A. I was just a bit nervous. So yeah, thank you. I'm grateful. If you're new here, then hey, I'm Beth. I make weekly videos about mental health and university, and there is a subscribing button just there if you want it. Other than that, thank you very much for watching and I'll see you very soon. Bye!